Hey folks, Batmania 777 here. Trust you're having a great evening. Wanted to go over 6 recent pickups, see if there's anything here you might be interested in seeing, including a very special card, and we'll save that one for the end. I picked up the 1958 Topps, number 119, Harry Cheedy. This is straight out of the Lionel Carter collection. For those of you who don't know, Lionel Carter, who passed away in about 2008, I believe, had one of the greatest baseball card collections of all time. He had 55,000 vintage mint and near mint cards in his collection. Possibly the greatest single collection ever assembled. He was a Chicago banker. It ended kind of sadly, though, in that people tried to break into his home numerous times and steal the collection, and his family's life was in danger. So it was very sad, and he had to sell the collection. He sold it for well over $1 million, but he stated towards the end of his life that he'd rather have the cards than the money. But he died literally without owning a single baseball card, having collected for nearly 75 years. But one of those 55,000 cards is right here tonight. This is from the Lionel Carter collection, the 1958 Harry Cheedy, graded SGC 92. For those of you who like to grade your cards in PSA, this would be the equivalent approximately to an 8.5, PSA 8.5. So, catcher, Kansas City A's, from the Lionel Carter collection. Second card, and there are 6 tonight that we'll take a look at. I'm working on the 1982 Topps. I'm working on the whole set, but the team I'm focusing on right now is Kansas City Royals, and I'm looking to get the entire 1982 Topps set in PSA 10. Right now I'm working on the Kansas City Royals. I've got about a third, maybe a little over the third of that set complete. That is the Kansas City team set. And here's one I added to it, a card I didn't have. Just a simple eBay pickup, not expensive. I think it was about $20 or $25. But the 1982 Topps Lime, number 132, PSA 10. And again, I'm trying to get that entire set all PSA 10 across the board. There's one card in that set where there's only one card graded anywhere in a PSA 10, and I own that card. So that helps. That's the most difficult card in the set. From the E98 set of 30, there were 30 cards made in 1910 by a candy company, but no one exactly knows which candy company because they didn't mark the card, and the set, in a sense, has been lost to history. The manufacturer is unknown of the 30 cards, but nevertheless, here is the Cy Young. There were various colored backgrounds. There's a Cy Young in an orange, a Cy Young in green. This is the only one ever graded by PSA in the blue background, so it's a 1-of-1. It's its only kind, as far as I know, anywhere in the world. And that's the blue background, Cy Young, 1910 E98 set of 30, graded PSA 2.5. Interestingly, the picture on the card is actually not Cy Young, but they made an error in that the picture on the card is another player of the time, and his name was Irving Young. You can see Irv Young in parentheses at the top. So that's not actually Cy Young. The manufacturer made a mistake. Again, we don't know who to blame because nobody knows who the manufacturer is. Nobody that's alive today, and you probably won't be able to see it well in the video. But the back of the card, again, does not list the manufacturer, but lists the 30 different cards in the set. It's in small print. Number 1's the Christy Mathewson. Number 2's the John McGraw. Frank Chance is number 4. Wagner's number 5. It says on here Hans Wagner. Of course, we know that as Honus Wagner these days. But all Connie Mack, one of the all-time great managers, is number 29. So there's a very, very high percentage of Hall of Famers in the set. Over half of the 30 are Hall of Famers. So look forward to completing that set sometime probably in the next year or two. My first card in the 1952 Bowman set, this is a recent pickup. I just started the 52 Bowman set. This is the Clyde McCullough. SGC 60, which again is about a PSA 5. Not a rare card, not an expensive card. I'm looking to get the entire 1952 Bowman set in SGC 60 or greater, or PSA 5 or greater. I'm also working on the 1951 Bowman set, and I'm looking to have that entire set, including the Mickey Mantle, in a PSA 5 slash SGC 60 or better. Not looking to do a high grade completion, but looking to do maybe a mid grade completion on that set. The 51 and the 52 Bowman set were actually artist renderings of real photos. So they're not photographs like you see in the 53 Bowman set. They're artist renderings of actual photos. In the 51 set, I probably prefer a little over the 52. That's the one I started first. But and I've got it in progress. Many of my cards are straight out of the Lionel Carter collection in the 51 Bowman set. But again, my first pickup in the 52 Bowman. One more card, and then we'll get to the good card. I guess they're all good cards. 1914 Cracker Jack. So I'm working on completing the 1914 Cracker Jack series. One of the toughest sets in the world to complete, especially in any kind of a really good grade. This is the 1914 Cracker Jack Rube Oldring, PSA 5. Looks great. Looks more to me like a PSA 6, and I'm getting ready to show you a PSA 6 that was once owned by Charlie Sheen. And I've sat for 10 minutes and compared the two and couldn't find where the 5 was better or worse than the 6 or vice versa. So I don't know how PSA came up with the grade, but they're the pros, so I'll trust them on that one. But regardless, Olderling, number 8 in the set of 146, PSA 5. And finally, one of my better pickups recently, it's actually not my favorite, but it's one of my more expensive. Straight from the Charlie Sheen collection. 1914 Cracker Jack, number 63, Charles Adams, known as Babe Adams, not to be confused with Babe Ruth. Charles Babe Adams, excellent mint state, PSA 6. And you can see right there, the third line down, Charlie Sheen collection. So this card, prior to me owning it, was owned by the great baseball card collector Charlie Sheen, who has dozens of PSA 5, 6, 7s, and 8s in the 1914 set. Ultimately, if I can pull it off, I intend to buy 100% of Charlie Sheen's 1914 Cracker Jack cards. The issue is not money. The issue is whether they'll come up for sale. But this one did. If they come up for sale, I will buy them. But this is the PSA 6 Charles Adams, straight from the Charlie Sheen collection. Background music provided by Elvis. Have a great evening. If you have any questions or comments, or would just like to drop me a line and say hello, my email address is batmania777@gmail.com. That's BATMANIA777 @gmail.com. And have a great evening.